Hey everybody, Tim here with today's episode of Enterprise, Season 2, Episode 5, A Night in Sickbay. This was rough. It had good potential, and it could have been really interesting. From the opening scene where we see Hoshi rubbing into Paul, and to Paul rubbing in Archer, and then Archer rubbing in Porthos with, the whole cream and stuff like that. I was just like, okay, this is already kind of weird. And at first I thought this was going to be an episode completely from Porthos' perspective. And I was like, this would actually be kind of interesting. It's not. And basically the whole episode is that the crew evidently revisited the race from earlier, where the first time we saw them, we had insulted them because we eat by putting food in our mouths in public. I forgot what their species is even called, and to be honest with you, they're so dumb that I don't care. And so, evidently we insulted them again because Porthos peed on one of their trees, and so he gets this disease, and so most of this episode is about Porthos being sick and in sickbay, and Archer's just, freaking out trying to take care of him. And we see a lot of stuff going on where, Dr. Flock's clipping his toenails and cleaning his tongue and stuff like that. And it just keeps Archer awake, and Archer's super irritable because this race wants him to go through this long, extravagant apology. And he's like, no, fuck you guys. I'm more worried about my dog than anything. And I completely get him. I'm okay. He has these weird dreams about, him being, sexually active with DePaul, and then, Porthos dies, and Dr. Phlox gives this speech about one for one and one for all, which is because Porthos is named after the Three Musketeers. And he even talks about how when Porthos was born, he was one of four males, and they were the Four Musketeers. I get it, it's funny, but the whole episode is just Archer freaking out about Porthos, which I get. If one of my dogs were sick, I would be doing the same thing, but it wasn't in an interesting way. I just didn't buy Archer's sadness. And there's 2 or 3 shots where it's clearly not even a dog, it's just this model, and it's not even really well done. So I was like, this is just bad. And finally, by the time we get to the end, Dr. Phlox is we have to submerge the dog in this water and do a transplant with a lizard. And he's like, you want to drown my dog? And it's so over the top that I just can't handle it. And of course, Archer gives in to these people and goes through their long, extravagant apology where he's wearing beads in his hair and he has to cut a log in half. And it's what is the fucking point in this episode? It's so long and it's so drawn out. I can't take this series. I finished season 1 and already for season 2. It's hard. For those who have seen it, what did you guys think? Go ahead, let me know, and I will see you guys next time for The Marauders.